What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, man. So y'all already know what's going on, all right? All right, y'all. Look, we're gonna jump straight into this one, all right? Um, you may be wondering why I got this up on the screen. I know a lot of people, don't watch basketball, but I know a lot of y'all do. Even when we go back to my initiated series, I think that might have been 2 years ago when I started that series, right? Y'all remember that. Y'all remember that because we did Kobe, we did Jordan. I think we did Jordan twice. Can't remember. We also did just a general video of the initiated, and this series was mostly about, you know, basketball players, mostly about sports and the initiated, the fact that they go through some of the same processes that any other industry goes through, you know, rap industry, film industry, and so on. Some of the same processes, right? So, some of y'all probably already know what I'm about to get to. A couple of people hit me up as soon as it happened last night in game 6 of the finals, right? Now, I just did a general search on Google, right? I just put NBA players 666. Simple. And I always find it funny the players that pop up when you type stuff in like this. It's like it automatically knows where to send you or what you're looking for. You see, you get James Harden. These are some of the most famous players who are, you know, known by everybody. Jordan, Steph Curry, Kobe, KD, LeBron, D Wade. It pulls up some of the most famous players, Joel Embiid. So, when you type Nikola Jokic, Luka down here at the bottom, D Rose right here, Mitchell, it pulls up some of these players who are some of the most famous players across the board. They're known to hang out with billionaires, rappers. They are completely industry, completely sold out. And a lot of the times when these players, throw up the triple six during the game, a lot of people think they're just doing it because they just made a 3-point shot. When really at the end of the day, they're pledging their allegiance. We don't even really got to show LeBron. We know LeBron does it all the time. At the end of the day, they're pledging their allegiance, right? So we'll go ahead and get to. So this is a player by the name of Pascal Siakam, right? He plays for the Indiana Pacers. And this was caught on live TV before the game started last night. This was a must-win game for the Pacers. Anybody who don't know basketball, this was a must-win game, right? If they didn't win, they were eliminated. So must win. So we know the stakes here, right? Live TV. I'm not gonna play the volume because this is from an NBA game. I don't want it to get copyrighted. Live TV though. And just look at this. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. And if you notice, nobody else on the team is looking at him, but that camera is right on his face. Crazy that the camera this angle just so happens to be right on his face. He looks highly possessed right here. Highly possessed. But look at this angle right here on Instagram. This might be the best angle. You can't even see the color in his eyes. All you see is white. Look, the rest of the team got their head down. Look at the man in the back. Weird how he looks up right as the camera zooms in. And notice the camera is zooming in on him. Look, 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 look. The camera zoomed in when he did that. Nobody else on the team is seeing this right now. It makes you wonder, what are they saying? What did they agree to do before this went live? Look at this. Bro, you can't see no color. It's nothing but white. The thing that gets me is the timing. The camera is right on him, zooms in when he does this. None of the other starters, these look like the starters. This is not the whole team. I could pretty much tell. It's Halliburton, Miles look like Nimhart. These are the starters right here. Most of these guys in the picture are the ones that start. There may be other guys on the outside, but this mostly looks like the starters, right? The timing of this is just crazy. From the dude in the background looking up when it zooms in, catching Siakam. He looks like he's in like, you know, like I don't know. He looks like he's the head of the prayer, of either summoning this demon or using some kind of spirits or something to help them win this game. I'm not even sure. I myself was like, whoa. I was like, whoa, what in the hell is going on? And you just look at, like the general consensus of what people think. I mean, instantly, people like, yo, bro just sacrificed J Dub, which is another player on the OKC team. Um, Somebody said if I saw this before the game, I would have bet on them. Showing the Undertaker, when he roll his eyes back and do his little ritual, and we actually did a video with the Undertaker in it. Somebody said he definitely possessed. This is just to give you what people think, and this is from Say Cheese account. So this is not like, you know, most of these people on here, they know what's going on, but this is like, these are just normal people who see this kind of stuff, and this just to give you an idea of what they think. Somebody said he just sacrificed J Dub. I think that was the same comment I read. And it's not letting me go down further. Somebody said he's African. What you think? Praying to the Illuminati. Somebody said, bruh, just praying, none major. I don't know about that. Let's see the replies. He prayed to the devil. Where you see the devil? Somebody said he channeling his inner Undertaker. I just find this to be crazy. I had to get on here and do a quick video just to see what y'all think about this. Let's just watch it one more time. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know what he doing. I don't think no prayer involves your eyes rolling back that far into your head. I don't think any prayer involves that much theatrics. If what they say, if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. If it bark, it's a dog. You know what I'm saying? But just in case y'all forgot, right? And I knew when I was gonna jump on here to do this video, I was like, I'm gonna bring this back up. This was in my initiated series right here. Now, I'm all about giving credit. This credit right here, the original person to point this out goes to Black Child, who is no longer on YouTube. I remember I had a stint on here for a long time where a bigger channel thought I was Black Child, sent like thousands of people to my page thinking I was Black Child. But I was like, blessed to even be in the same topic, right? Obviously, I'm not him though. I don't think he ever showed his face on YouTube. But so all credit goes to Black Child for this, right? This is just to give you a little piece for y'all that didn't see my initiated series. Um, this was one of the first videos I had did on it, and we kind of ventured off of this topic. So this was about Ben Simmons when he was the #1 draft pick in the NBA back in 2016. All right, most of y'all, if y'all NBA fans, you know who Ben Simmons is, right? So Zachary Simmons, the cousin of Philadelphia 76ers #1 draft pick Ben Simmons, was struck and killed by a black SUV in a hit and run around 3:30 a.m. Saturday in Hoboken, New Jersey. Ben Simmons' cousin was only 21 years old, right? The car was going almost 70 miles per hour. There is a video that shows it, but it doesn't show him being hit, obviously, but it shows the black SUV. We're talking about blacked out. One of those like, government looking undercover black SUVs. So it really gives you an idea. 3:30 a.m. in the middle of the night, right? Of what was going on. It almost seems like as if somebody was, because they showed his cousin walking across the street. He was at a light like a small intersection, they showed his cousin walking across the street. And it looks like he was being led, like someone was like telling him to come on, or there was someone in front of him just by the way the scene looked. It was just real odd that he was by himself walking across the street at 3:30 a.m. Now, mind you, gets even deeper. Said Zachary Simmons was out Friday evening celebrating a friend's birthday. So that's what he was doing. The day prior, he was in New York with Ben Simmons to hear his name called at the Barclays Center. He had just went to the NBA draft for his first cousins, not his second, third cousins, not a distant family member. This is his first cousin, who is the number one draft pick. No suspects have been named. Police are looking for a black Cadillac Escalade. Now, I'm not even sure if this was ever, if the person was ever found. Maybe we could search it up real quick after after this article. Actually, this article is done. So yeah, maybe we could search that up real quick and see, because I'm not sure if they ever found the person. Hmm. Okay, so it does say that they arrested someone. Let's see how it goes. Now the thing about this, his cousin was ran over and killed at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. We already know what that time is, right? The day before, he had just went to the NBA draft to see his cousin drafted at number 1. Now it says he was struck at Willow Avenue, 6th Street on June 25th. On 6th Street at 3:16 a.m. Almost even worse. My goodness. Says Mark T. Nichols, 50, who was arrested in Manhattan at around 3:16 a.m. with the connection with a fatal crash. Well, no, so this was when the guy was arrested at 3:16, but the numerology is crazy. Well, at 3:16 he was arrested. Right. And that's it. There's nothing else to even show. And that right there, I don't even know what to say to that. There's nothing else to show. That's it. All it says is there was a man arrested at 3:16 a.m. Um, and that is it. They put his name into the system. He was a wanted individual. I don't know how they had his name already if they didn't know who even did it in the first place. But y'all already know what's going on. You already know what's going on. He got that number one pick, and he had to sacrifice for it. And if I'm not mistaken, this was also in the video where he did the Freemasonic handshake with what's the guy's name again? The owner, Adam Silver, if I'm not mistaken. That was the regular handshake, and I think I might just have to put it on the screen because so my face is not in the way. But y'all can see it. You can see it. Ben Simmons' thumb is pressed on that index knuckle, or that middle finger knuckle. Same as the owner of the NBA is pressed on his same knuckle as well. We already know what that is as a Freemasonic handshake for the number one player in the draft back in 2016. Who knew he was going number one? Who knew his cousin was going to be sacrificed? And so that's just a reminder. It's just a reminder because, it's relevant to this right here. And people thinking that the NBA is, you know, exempt from sacrifices, exempt from the devil. We already know, man. We already know. We already know these players have it all. They have it all. They have millions. They get some of the biggest contracts in the world paid. They have the world at their feet. They have, essentially the devil's kingdom. They were given the world. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. And, a lot of the times this is what comes with it, especially on this level. The finals, millions of people are watching. Um, that's just what it is, man. So I thought it would be cool just to go ahead and show y'all, remind y'all of this, in case some new people see this video who haven't seen any of my initiated series, right? Um, Very interesting to say, man. So with that being said, y'all, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. I just wanted to make this a quick video. Not gonna drag it on too long. But I do either tomorrow or Sunday, video's already done. We do have the part two to the Boule and the Kobe assassination. That video is ready to be dropped, so y'all stay tuned with that one. Um, so yeah, man. That being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. All right.